Right then, I'm now here for my Fabio Wardley versus Justis Huni full card review. Now all the fights have gone down. Let's get into talking about all of them, starting with Nelson Heiser's second round knockout win over Patrick Corte. Yeah, this was easy for Nelson Heiser. Absolutely easy for him. He called out Moser the Tamer in the end, but I don't think he knew that it's actually going to be Dillian White versus Moser the Tamer now suddenly. But yeah, big win for Heiser. I feel like he's got good athleticism. I feel like he's got good head movement. I feel like he's got good body movement, to be honest with you. I feel like, he's pretty smart at times with the way he moves, with the way he picks his shots. I think his lead hand is very good. I feel like he's very good at setting his shots up behind his lead hand. I feel like he's very good at being able to bait you in behind his lead hand. Nelson Heiser, that's what he's able to do to Corte today. He was good behind his jab. Didn't really get caught with anything too stupid. He was good at countering well with his backhand. But yeah, I feel like he picked his shots well. We still don't really fully know the level of Nelson Heiser yet. But look, the guy's 40 years old. They fully need to bloody start fast-tracking him now. Like, there's no other option. He needs to just fully bloody just be fast-tracked. Like, there's no messing about with Nelson Heiser. You need to put him in a big fight next. And I feel like that's what he wants. But that was too easy for Heiser. He's levels above guys like Corte. And people should have knew this. He hasn't got time on his side. And promoters don't seem to understand this. Chuck him into big fights. He's got a good fan base behind him. That was too easy for him tonight. He was good behind the jab. And, look, he did what he should have done in that kind of fight, though. He made a statement, which he had to do. So I'm glad that is what he did. Because if he struggled tonight, then it's like, what do you do? But he was able to do his thing tonight. So I feel like there's big fights for him that can be made. I wouldn't mind seeing him up against Derek Chisora or someone like that. I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. He wants a town, and that's not going to happen. I don't think that's the greatest idea. I feel like there's better ways to build himself. I feel like give him Joyce, give him Chisora, do something like that with him next. I feel like that would be better for Heiser, because I think they're winnable fights for Heiser, but they're very risky fights for him, which he could definitely lose as well, though. But that's what I think should be done with Heiser. Then if he can beat Chisora or Joyce, then we'll see from there what happens with him. Anyway, next up we then got Mike Perez defeating Stephen Ward. This was an interesting fight. It wasn't too amazing early on, but yeah, I thought, if we're being real here, Perez was pretty convincing in this fight, to be honest with you. Yeah, it was just a different level here, to be fair. Ward was very tough throughout, though, took some massive shots. And I thought Ward was all right at times. I feel like, he was picking his shots all right here and there and was able to, handle himself well in there. But yeah, Perez was just too much for him in the end, to be fair. Perez, I feel like, it's clear he's bloody past it now. But yeah, he was favourite to win. He won the fight, did what he had to do. It wasn't really a special performance. It's not like Perez is going to be one of the top guys in the cruiserweight division again or anything like that. He's not going to top the division. I just feel like just stick him in there with as big as names as possible. I mean, should he just try and make a move back up to heavyweight and try and get a better fight up there or something like that? I don't know. But yeah, his power showed in that fight, though, to be fair, with Stephen Ward discussing for him. It was a big opportunity, and he probably got paid a bloody good amount of money for that one. I predicted him to win. But no, I should have knew. Perez just, he's not fully done yet. Just put it that way. He's not fully done yet. But I don't really know what you do with him at cruiserweight next, though. That's the thing. I don't know what you do with him at cruiserweight next. But I feel like tonight he was able just to counter Ward, pretty easily. Outstrike him pretty easily as well. Outland him pretty easily. Ward was on the defensive as the fight went on and on. Like, Ward started off all right, thinking, right, I've got a plan here. But then he was just getting caught by Perez a little bit too much. And then it's like, went into defensive mode, kind of in ways quit a bit mentally, even though he kept on getting up when he got knocked down. But he knew he wasn't winning that fight in the end. No, that's the thing. So it was frustrating. But yeah, there we go. Mike Perez got the win. But what's next for him? God knows. Anyway, next up then, we got Lewis Richardson winning his debut, which was very good to see. Fought at middleweight today. I'm expecting him to possibly move down to super welterweight or something like that. I feel like that's expected. But yeah, look, this guy moves like a lightweight. Let's be real. Like, he is a very good fighter. He's a very good technical boxer, Lewis Richardson. Very smart with what he does. He moves very well. I feel like he's got very good footwork. I really rate his footwork a lot, to be honest with you, Lewis Richardson. I feel like he's got very good and smart footwork and picks his moments well. And he's so quick. He can push and fight at such a good pace. And that's what happened tonight. He's up against a guy who I think was only stopped once. So, he was never really going to get him out of there. But it was good for him to get some good 6 rounds in his debut and just show everyone that he can push a pace for a good amount of time, that, he can build his way in and get better and better round by round and look more comfortable in there round by round. He was just very comfortable in there tonight, Richardson. There was nothing really coming back from his opponent for that anything to be really worried about for me. He didn't really need to worry about anything. He just enjoyed himself in there, looked comfortable. And I look forward to seeing him again next, to be honest with you. I followed his Olympics career, and I feel like he looked good tonight. It was good to see him in the pro ranks. He's 28 though, so let's see what they're gonna do with him now, though. He's not exactly young, but yeah, I'm happy with Richardson. I thought it was a good performance from him tonight. Did what had to be done. A good, strong-looking performance, unlike, people like Delicious Ori when he came in after the Olympics. So I thought Richardson was very convincing tonight, and he showed his potential and showed that he's a very difficult mover for these guys at middleweight or super welterweight. I feel like there's a lot of potential in him, and that all showed tonight. Anyway, next up, we then got Piz O'Leary defeating Liam Dillon. This was a good, solid fight, in my opinion. I feel like this was a very good fight. Possibly fight of the night. Piz O'Leary won basically every round, in my opinion, but Liam Dillon was very good at standing his ground and coming back with a few decent shots and getting some moments in this fight, to be honest with you. So I feel like Liam Dillon's performance definitely needs to be respected by a lot of people, to be honest with you, because, naturally, he's like a super featherweight, Liam Dillon. Like, he's naturally 2 weights below Piz O'Leary. And that showed in the fight. I feel like O'Leary won because of the weight, really, to be fair. I mean, O'Leary's a good, skilled guy, and I feel like his counters were good. I feel like his volume was good. And I feel like he was very smart. But it was the weight a lot that was able to kind of drain it out of Dillon. And O'Leary was just never really overly affected by Dillon's work. Even though Liam Dillon got some good moments in there, O'Leary was just never really affected by him. And that is because of the weight. I feel like, Liam Dillon was able to do his thing, but he was just easily drained due to O'Leary being the naturally bigger guy. Being in there with a bigger guy, it just naturally just drained you out because Liam Dillon just had to think a lot. But he's ridiculously tough, though. But yeah, O'Leary, kind of outsmarted him because of the weight being able to, make him do that. And O'Leary didn't need to think as much as Liam Dillon did in there. But yeah, I feel like O'Leary was good tonight. He won every single round, but it was the weight that won him the fight. Let's not lie about that at all. Dillon was good, got his moments, but just couldn't affect O'Leary. Anyway, next up then, we got our main event. Fabio Wardley beating Justis Huni. Honestly, knockout out of nowhere. KO out of nowhere. Unbelievable stuff. Not an RKO out of nowhere. A KO out of nowhere. A right hand out of nowhere from Fabio Wardley. It wasn't a lucky punch. It wasn't a lucky punch. Whether people like to say it wasn't a lucky punch, it was a well-timed and set-up punch that Fabio Wardley landed. The counter that he landed while Huni was throwing his, It was a very good right hand from Fabio Wardley. But Huni won every single round before the knockout, in my opinion. Huni won absolutely every single round. But I feel like Wardley proved tonight he could arguably be the biggest hitter in the heavyweight division. Off the ropes, out of nowhere KO. But, I mean, Huni bullied him tonight. Huni bullied him. Huni just couldn't really miss him, to be honest with you. That lead hook of Huni was fantastic tonight. Wardley was literally just getting hit just all night, but Wardley showed his shin, showed his grip throughout, so big respect to him. But Justis Huni was very good tonight. He was very good in the clinch, wearing out Fabio Wardley. Wardley looked like he had absolutely nothing in him. It looked like Huni literally took it all out of Fabio Wardley tonight, badly. But somehow Wardley still came out of nowhere and bloody found the shot. But Huni was good, and I feel like Huni put up a good high-level performance tonight, to be honest with you. And he's got a style that can cause any heavyweight problems, Justis Huni. He was good. He was quick. He had good, quick movement. But in the end, he just got too complacent. He just got too overconfident and complacent. And the movement as the fight went on of Huni stopped. And I don't think he gassed. I just feel like he got a bit too overconfident as it went on, thinking, oh, I'm in this position now. I've got it. I can't miss him. But then the movement stopped. He stopped making himself small, stopped making himself low, and he got caught big. He got caught cold, and he got knocked out. There we go. But Wardley's a ridiculously hard hitter, though. Unreal. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Speak to you in the next one.